So who the hell is piloting the hellship? Welcome to Ranger Reviews, a web series where we look at episodes of the TV show Power Rangers and then discuss them. Today we're exploring the 24th episode of the show Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, as well as the 317th episode overall, titled Green Courage. We begin this episode with a planet exploding, I think. Stanton is talking to the board about how they need to change course to avoid a meteor field. Then one of the directors drops a piece of paper and Damon is there, picking it up and handing it to her. The guards try to stop him. Bad optics here. She notes that he left grease on it. Okay. Anyways, that thing still exploded, but it hit the scorpion stinger apparently, or at least something did. Kegler's by the engine, which apparently has a giant heartbeat with it. A meteor hit the engine room, and Deviant is saying that they will kill whoever attacked them, not realizing that what happened was it was just an explosion. Kegler comes in with the meteoroid, showing it to Trakeena, but Deviant thinks it's a bomb, which is kind of funny. Kegler warns that it was just the first wave. There's another field heading for them, and he can't change course because the engines are pretty messed up. He tells him to just go fix it then. Kegler tries to fix it, but it keeps sparking. Trakeena asks how long it's going to take, and Kegler says they need a real mechanic. Deviant has a plan. Meanwhile, outside of something in Terra Venture, the guards are taking the board president out. But then, as it turns out, every one of the guards is secretly a Stingwinger, which is revealed through one of their shadows, which is actually pretty neat. Damon sees this, and it's time to morph. He flies in, getting the board president and staff free, but then a monster shows up. Damon takes him on, and apparently his name is Cannon Brawl, which is a really terrible monster name. He fires at the board president, and Damon tries to stop it from getting her, and apparently her name is High Council Rainier. Well, alright. She disappears, and Damon has failed. The monster leaves. Later, Damon is telling Maya and Leo what happened, and Damon has to find her no matter what because it's his fault that they got her. Damon gets mad, walking away, and Leo says he'd do the same thing. Alright, great help everyone. Elsewhere, Stanton updates another council member about how Kai and Mike are trying to locate her. Trakeena then comes over the TV saying that she wants to trade. Her engines have failed. She wants their best mechanic as a trade for Rainier. They prove that Rainier is safe, who is yelling for them not to do what she says. Trakeena says they have 10 minutes. The councilman demands that they send someone, and Stanton is opposed to it, but then Damon shows up on the bridge, saying that he'll go. Someone has to try, and he's the man for the job. Stanton says fine, whatever. He clearly doesn't really care that much. Damon will get into a hellship and go. Good thing he's a Power Ranger. He's on the hellship with Mike and Leo, and they're coming up on the scorpion stinger, and apparently Leo being there was a surprise. Damon says once a stowaway, always a stowaway. They get to the ship. Where are Maya, Kai, and Kendricks? Damon arrives at the scorpion stinger walking aboard. He's met with Stingwingers who gesture for him to go certain directions. This is kind of cool to see him on this set for once. Damon comes into the bridge, meeting with Trakeena, who is pissed that they sent a Power Ranger. She tells him to go fix the engine and don't try to pull any bullshit. Kegler begs for Damon to hurry up, and Damon sees that a literal heart is there, saying he's a mechanic, not a doctor. They tell him to do it anyways if he wants Rainier to stay alive. They lead him to the engine room and he looks around. Also, Leo is secretly there watching. Damon has a bit of a montage of him working on the engine, and Mike is monitoring the meteor field coming toward the scorpion stinger. Damon's still working, and Deviant yells at him to hurry it up. Rainier is in a cell elsewhere, and Leo is scurrying around trying to avoid the Stingwingers guarding her. Then he thinks he's so cool for seeing Rainier. Girl. Then he climbs up a chain and he slips, swinging back and forth into sight, which is classic Leo. He then kind of says fuck it, and he starts fending off the Stingwingers, winning. He tells Rainier she's going to be alright, and she's like, who are you? And he says, I'm the stowaway. Maybe don't admit that. Leo tells Damon they need to open the cell door, and Damon says okay via his morpher. He goes to cut a wire, but Deviant yells at him to hurry up. But then he cuts it anyways, and it ends up freeing Rainier. The whole place is rocking around, and Damon says that should do it, so they're good to go. They rush to the control panel, and Kegler hits some buttons, and the heart is beating. Everything should be up and running in a few moments. Damon says, alright, bye, but Trakeena says he's not going anywhere. And Damon's like, why? You promised. And she's like, I'm evil, dude. Then Villamax comes in with news that Rainier is gone, and Deviant swears he'll kill Damon now for this. And in a rocking that knocks the lights out for a bit, Damon escapes. He finds Leo and Rainier, and she's like, I told you to stay home. And Damon's like, my bad. Then they start running, finding Cannon Brawl. Damon takes him on, letting Rainier and Leo get away to the hellship. She really wants to go back for Damon, who's getting tossed around. Cannon Brawl is getting closer, but he trips over something that Rainier tosses at him. This gives Damon the opportunity to jump over him and use a hose to spray like vapor on him or something. Damon and gang get away, leaving in the hellship. They're nearing the Terra Venture. The engines are at full power, so Trakeena orders that they change course immediately. She's going to send Cannon Brawl down to kill the Rangers for what they just pulled. I mean, Damon did at least fix your ship. Now Cannon Brawl is on the ground and he goes to fire at the hellship, but then he's hit from behind by the Magna Defender. So who the hell is piloting the hellship? Kai, Maya, and Kendrick show up, but they're not that much help. Luckily, here comes Morph, Leo, and Damon to save the day, but really, it's mostly Damon doing sick flips and stuff, firing a cannon brawl. He takes out his Quasar saber, and Leo gives him his own saber, so Damon can do a cool double sword attack. They regroup and they activate the Lights of Orion, and Damon does the solo power-up mode, going through cannon brawl, hitting him. But then, of course, he becomes giant. They form the Galaxy Megazord, powering it up with the Lights of Orion. Galaxy Megazord gets fired on, so they call it the Stratoforce Megazord. Yo, screw Centaurus though, to be honest. He comes flying in, kicking Cannon Brawl in the face, and then he uses his boomerang weapon on him. The Rangers use the Galaxy Megazord saber, and they slash, killing Cannon Brawl. RIP, you terribly named monster. Later, Damon and Leo are actually approached by some guards. The High Council people with Stanton are standing nearby, and Damon starts to explain that, yeah, I guess they shouldn't have saved her, but they had to. And Rainier explains that they just did what they had to do. And Rainier says it takes a lot of courage to do what Damon did, and she hopes he'd do it again. And she gives him and Leo some awards for their bravery. Rainier then tells him to raise his hand, and she gives him a high five because he almost did it on the ship earlier, but it was such a nothing moment that I kind of skipped over it. And now I regret not mentioning it. The end. This episode's a fun little Damon-focused episode with a pretty unique plot. I mean, I think the baddies are right to need help and then to ask for it in the way that they do. It set up stakes on both sides, and it was cool to see Damon and Trakeena face-to-face on the Scorpion Stinger. Honestly, just really well done all around. But I still have to wonder how the hell Mike got out of that helliship before they landed. This has actually been a decent couple of episodes of Lost Galaxy. And now that we're over a little bit of a halfway through the season, I can say I'm pretty much enjoying this a decent bit. But what will happen next time? Find out then, but until then, may the power protect you.